Stimme vom Spengler und dementsprechend natürlich auch ein Experte ist auch schon für die Entscheidungsphase kontrollieren für Mountfield gegen Kanada. Das hat Mountfield für die und Absatz für die. Ich denke, das ist auf den Fall. Ich denke, dass man jetzt noch verloren ist. Jetzt müssen wir ja das nachwerten und die Ems, das ist ja noch etwas Zeit und rechnen gut, so wie die und Skandal, das ist auch ein Video. Sehr viele Emotionen, sehr körperbetont, kurz so klar, nicht so zu zeigen. Sie sind in der Fußball, der ist schon gewinnt. Aber der Mannschaft geht die ständige Schritte als Ausschritte.
Sorry. Hello. How are you? Good. Sorry about that. You lay out our game. I'll definitely the 3 points. Yeah, actually, I'll go get my sheet.
Hey Doug, it's Phil. Hey Doug, it's Phil. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Doug's just coming right now. Can you hear me okay? It's Phil here. 1 2 3 4. Phil on Doug's headset. You gonna take it off now to a 5-2? Okay, but
Information für Team Canada, Einmal von Team Canada, Go-Taylor, 1-1, Drew McIntyre, 30 Völker, Zach Fukala, Verteidiger für die Defense, Mike Green, Brendan Normelli, 7-7, Blake Ball, 26-26, John Eschka, 36-36, Mark Bloch, 26-56, Noel, 82-84,
Hey guys, Steve. Okay, they're showing right now in the lineup for Canada Jordan Cook and Drew McIntyre.
I gotta go check.
I can't possibly imagine that Fukali's not starting. And, and if he's not, then we just made the blooper reel. Who's the starting goalie tonight? Fukali? Yeah, Fukali. His name's on a... Okay, it is Fukali. It is Fukali. It is Fukali. Can you text Phil to let him know it's Fukali's coming over there? Fukali Kisettle. I'm just going off for a sec. Okay, guys. Michael, did you notice
on
that?
headset, Steve on headset.
Did you notice on Dino's email, he has Mountfield as an NHL advantage, not Canada. So I sent him back a notice.
Hello.
It's Team Canada, not Mountfield, where the NHL advantage lies.
Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Okay.
On headset, on headset.
I'm going to the bathroom now. Yeah. I'm going off right now. I'll be back in about a minute.
I got you. I spoke with Team Canada head coach Luke Richardson and asked him about the power play.
Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, jetzt müsst ihr euer Smartphone führen. Spengler Anruf tun und den Lichtshow-Button drücken. Und dann rennt ihr den Teil von der großartigen Countdown zum Spiel. Now euer Smartphone führen. Drückt den Licht.
You're gonna tell me, or I have to look at my phone?
Wieder ab in der Button Lichtshow und habt euer Display hier zu uns. Und ich sage, Lichtshow.
Vidarini, not dressed. Picard, not dressed. Baranik, not dressed. Pavlik, not dressed. Wow. You guys getting that? Vidarini, Picard? Okay, but I'm giving it FYI to you as well.
Liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, herzlichen Dank, thank you very much. Being part of our light show. Vielen Dank, danke Herr Helge, mit der Lichtshow mitgemacht. Und jetzt geht's wieder los. Und Sie alle kommen von Kanada!
Just let me know how to set up that clip. Please. Honegger's hunches before Luke or after Luke?
Did you get a confirmation on that, Steve? Steve?
Yep.
Before or after?
Luke is after.
Okay.
The winner of this game plays Mintz, correct?
Yes. No, the winner of this game Yes, Minsk, correct. Assad.
Michael Charbon, can you get them to bring down international sound a touch, please?
This is the clearest I think it's been for me. Real touch.
Did you hear me, Michael? Thank you.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good energy over here. Really good energy. You just feel the benches. They're so fired up. You can tell the difference when a team is confident. Okay. I would love it. Can I
Get up.
Live from Davos, Switzerland, the 2016 Spengler Cup is on the air. Quarter-final Thursday. Tonight, Davos against Yekaterinburg. But right here, right now, Team Canada taking on Mountfield. Mountfield in black with the red and white trim. Canada once again in white with the red and black trim. Zach Fucale getting the call. He won game 2 for Canada, and it's his crease. Do you think he can go all the way, Mr. Honecker, and run the table?
Let me tell you something, Steve. I think he can absolutely run the table. He did so well 2 years ago with Canada. The World Juniors was their starting goaltender. He has experience playing for Canada. Talked to some of the players before the game. They just got a sense of this guy. The moment is not too big for him. He's obviously proven himself internationally, and I expect he's going to do the same throughout the rest of this tournament.
The winner of this game, Canada against Mountfield from the Czech Republic, where they are 6th in the Czech Elite League of 14 teams. The winner gets Minsk. The winner of Davos, Yekaterinburg, tonight gets Lugano. It is quarterfinal Thursday, must win. Win and you move on, and the losers go home. There is the opening face-off, and we are underway from the Vale Ant Arena. It is loud here at just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Packed once again as Canada taking on their opposition from the Czech Republic. Jacob McFlicker on the ice. Puck bounces near side to Gormley, went over his stick. Comes here to Cervini. He got it in front of the net to Simonak, the 38-year-old veteran. Couldn't get a stick on it as on the far side, Zdeněk Cap was absolutely pasted along the near boards, not too far from where you are.
No, and this is what Canada wants to do. They're going to be playing a little bit more physical. There was a great hit by 89 Christy Domenico as well. Look for Canada to try to impose themselves physically on this Czech club.
Zach Fucale in the area to my right. Once again, Andre Kachetel, the third-string goalie going into this tournament. Doug gets the call for Mountfield.
Yeah, Mountfield looking to find their number one goaltender, Patrick Rybar, who we thought was going to carry them throughout the tournament, struggling, and now being replaced by their number 3, Kachetel. This is going to be a tricky spot for Mountfield.
Kuchenberg is on the ice, the former Maple Leaf pick and Marley's farmhand. On with Yaroslav Bednar. He's 40, but the best all-around player on this Mountfield team. In fact, he has the puck now, gets it up to Kuchenberg. He dumps it in, and Mountfield changes on the fly.
And it really is an amazing thing. At age 40, number 26, Yaroslav Bednar, a former King draft pick, played here in Davos. You're going to see a lot of Bednar jerseys in the crowd, but he is still their number one offensive threat.
Sean Heshka, number 26, starting out, gets it to James Shepard. He has Gregory Campbell, the former Bruin, breaking for the net. Couldn't get him the puck. Here's Shepard now, former first-round pick of the Wild. Back to the point. Thrown behind the net by Mark Flood. Shepard lets a shot go, and he did miss the top right-hand corner by much. Heshka keeps it in. Sends it deep behind the net, comes out the other side, where Steinach tries to get it up front, but he can't. Campbell in front of the net. What a chance there for Francis Paré. as he was taken by Jake Newton hard into the net. Not sure if there's going to be a penalty here on the play, as now Richard Jurasek is having words with Gregory Campbell. Jurasek sporting a playoff type beard. Here's another look at the play.
Well, there shouldn't be a penalty. That was a beautiful give and go right here. And this line is really improved. 11, Gregory Campbell. Look at Francis Pare right there driving the net. Martin Steinhoff taking him out, pushing him into Cachetto. No penalty. But this line to me really articulates how much better Canada was in Game 2 against Davos than they were in their first game against Minsk. Improvement, improvement. That's the message for this hockey club.
Since you got the puck on your stick, let's keep it with you. What are Honegger's hunches today?
Exactly. I'm just going to follow in on that thought. Canada continues to improve. One thing I've noticed covering this tournament for over a decade is how much better Canada usually gets with each game. The first game is a challenge. They don't know each other. But look for consistent improvement from Canada. I expect to see the same thing again today. In puck possession, it's something that we talk about a lot more in the game, and it's something that Canadian coaches really focus on. No longer dumping the puck away, but they want to control and maintain possession throughout the game. An important factor for Canada, and then the NHL makes a difference. This is a lineup loaded with NHL veterans. We just saw one, Gregory Campbell. I think that's a decisive advantage for Team Canada this afternoon.
Replay, just 2.5 minutes here. Period number 1. Mountfield in black. Opportunity there for Lucas Lahotak. Lets it go. The first difficult chance against Zach Fucali, and he is up to the challenge.
He was. You want to be tested early on. Lahotak, good wrist shot, but Fucali in the right position. This is what you want as a goalie. You want to see some rubber early on.
Picking up speed behind the net is Rudy Cervini. 2 years with the Regina Pats. He coughs up the puck to Marc-Antoine Pouliot, the former first-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers, the Quebec native. Puck comes to the near side where it's corralled by Andris Desirens. He has a shorthanded goal in this tournament. Far side for Yuri Simonak, the veteran. Gets it in deep. Desirens is in, throwing his weight around. McFlicker comes away with the puck. Starts out in his own zone, looking for DiDomenico, streaking down the right wing. Chris DiDomenico gets grabbed there and then throws a shot at Martin Planek, the defenseman. And now 3:30 into the opening frame. We've got a power play for Canada. I believe Planek is getting the gates.
And he's going to get a holding call. This was a brilliant play through the neutral zone. Tremendous chemistry between number 71, Jacob McFlicker, and DiDomenico to set this play up. But watch behind the net. Look at the hold right here. Number 19, Planek, but it's all because Chris DiDomenico doesn't stop moving his feet. He has caused 3 penalties already in this tournament. He and McFlicker, the feet are always moving. See, we know how difficult it is to defend against these small, really quick players on Team Canada.
Canada has improved over the course of the tournament. And talking to head coach Luke Richardson before the game, the key to winning the game, simply the Canadian style of hockey.
And it's going to start here on this power play.
Head coach Luke Richardson, over 1,400 career NHL games to his credit, spanning 2 decades. There's a shot from the point. Rebound, they score! Side of the net, Andrew Abbott on the power play. Canada draws first blood. It's 1-0.
Steve, you talked about what Luke Richardson wanted to do, which is to play Canada's game, and no better job. Look at them spread it out. It all starts in the power play. Jeffrey right here, number 15. You're going to see Mason Raymond in the slot. And look at this rebound right here to Andrew Ebbett. Watch the timing. It's about spreading things out calm. Good passes and the shots on the net. Cachetto not handling this rebound earlier on. The puck came right out to Andrew Ebbett. And watch, no mistake about high. He saw the goaltender going down and then roofed it over him. But it's all about what does Canada do well in the power play. They set up, good crisp passing, hard consequent shots in the net. And as a result, Canada goes up 1-0 on the power play.
33 years of age from Vernon, BC. Never drafted Andrew Ebbett. Went to the University of Michigan. 6 NHL teams spanning over 220 NHL games. Recording 71 points. And the theme continues of bad penalties that lead to power play goals. That penalty didn't save a goal. Instead, led to the opening goal as the puck is behind the net here for Michael Dragoon, number 29, has been strong for Mountfield in the tournament so far. As has Richard Jurasek, who lets a shot go. He had Kohler in front of the net trying to tip it by Zach Fucali, who got a right pad on that one. Here's Campbell, over to Shepard with a shot. Did miss the top left-hand corner by much as we played just over 5 minutes. Period 1, quarterfinal Thursday. Puck coming to Blake Parlett. He wanted that one, but it went over his stick as he pinched in from the point. We will see the speedy Canadian defenseman activated all day long.
And that's another key area of the game that you like to talk about, the activation of the defense, and I really thought Canada found that in the second game against Davos.
Brandon Gormley. Of course, we talked about Max Norro and Blake Parlett, who can do the same thing, pinching in from the point. Here's Norro with it now, looking for Heshka, lost it. Norro gets it back again to Corey Emerton, who had a huge shorthanded goal against Davos to make it a 2-1 game. The former Wings second rounder brings it right down Broadway, where it's corralled by Cachetto, and he will hang on. Canada up 1-0. This game is coming to you live from Davos. I was scared for a second. So the clip worked, it worked like that? Perfect, thank you. Nice execution, everybody. Nice execution. This game is coming into you live from the Vaillant Arena in Davos, Switzerland, where moments ago, Andrew Ebbett on the power play scored to make it 1-0 Canada. Here on quarterfinal Thursday, later tonight, Davos against Yekaterinburg. Winner of that game plays Lugano. The winner of this game plays Minsk. Canada losing to Minsk 7-4 in the tournament opener. DiDomenico far side one-timer, and McFlicker didn't get good composite on that one, as he did have Cachetto leaning on one knee. Near side, Mark Caddick changes the angle, shoots it wide on purpose, hoping for a deflection. Gets it back again. Mark Caddick lets it go, steered aside by Cachetto, who is number 3 on the depth chart here for Mountfield from the Czech Republic. We've seen Patrick Rybar in the tournament and Yaroslav Pavelka, but they want to go with Cachetto, who has allowed 1 goal here so far. Mason Raymond, 2 goals in the tournament, trying to go top cheese, and he's denied by Cachetto. Raymond loses the handle there to Andres Desirens as the puck finally comes out to center.
And that was a fire drill inside the Mountfield zone. Beautiful execution by Mason Raymond, just came so close to scoring Canada's second goal. Danced around big number 67. There's Mason Raymond right there. A great individual effort. Watch him right here around Dietz. Good job by Cachetto coming to close the short angle right there. Raymond looked like he was trying to go high shelf just over on the glove hand side.
When you come down the off wing like that, and I know you were a defenseman, but you had many rushes as well. On the bigger ice, do you see more ice? Do you try to take it inside the dots to improve your shooting angle?
That's a great point, Steve. You are absolutely right, particularly when you skate the way Mason Raymond does. You watch, he saw that ice. You could tell because he accelerated, then dropped the shoulder. He had a thought going short shelf. I thought he might have tried to cross through the crease because I didn't see Cachetto come out. Stayed pretty deep in his net. Something for him to think about.
31 years of age, Mason Raymond from Cochrane, Alberta, was a second-round pick of the Canucks. Best NHL season, 2010, 25 goals, 53 points, as he has played almost 550 career NHL games. We talked to him in our opener as Doug Honegger between the benches, throwing up a souvenir to a fan in the first row. We talked to Mason Raymond. Of course, the NHL's an option, and we talked about the Vegas option. That's kind of the elephant in the tournament as well.
It is, and I think this is the perfect forum for Mason Raymond. We touched on it in game 1, Steve. The rink suits him. You talked about it moments ago on that rush. Big ice surface like this, it plays to his strength. He's such a dynamic skater. Either he's going to have an option to pretty much choose where he wants to play if he decides to play in Europe, or to your point, there's always going to be that option, and Vegas is going to be in the back of every player that's in this tournament that has NHL aspirations minds.
Francis Paré, who's impressed so far, is tied up with Jake Newton, The California native will be our first intermission guest in the penalty box. Gregory Campbell can't corral that puck, and it comes to Rastislav Dej, who gets it to Yaroslav Bednar. The just turned 40-year-old, second round pick of the Kings in 2001, gets it in deep. In after it there is Dragoon. But it's Canada's Paré who comes back the other way with James Shepard. He slides it in on the backhand and heads to the bench with Gregory Campbell as Canada changes on the fly. Puck is corralled by Heshka in his own zone. That pass was too far as he was looking for Emerton. Kata can't get it out, but Nick Spaulding will. Gets it up to Colby Genoway. Drops it for Heshka. Shooting, save, loose puck in front of the net. Jamming away at it is Nick Spaulding. And Team Canada just seems more structurally sound with number 16 in the lineup, Nick Spaulding.
Did you ever call that? That is exactly what I was thinking. First, the way they set up defensively. Watch how beautifully they transition that puck. And another area of the game that you love to talk about, we just referenced it moments earlier, activating defense. What a nice job by number 26, Sean Heshka. You're going to see it right here, stepping into the play. Fourth man. Beautiful job from Team Canada. You want to activate those defensemen. All of these guys skate really well. Look for that as a constant theme throughout this game.
Penalty on the play for hooking against that man, Bedrich Kohler. 11 goals in the regular season, has been a tower of power in front of the net here for Mountfield. But now he will sit in the comfortable chairs that line the penalty box. He hopes for a full 2 minutes. Canada's 1 for 1, Doug, on the power play so far.
They are, and I really like the unit they have out here. Pouliot, 7'8", Jacob McFlicker, and Christy Domenico, number 89. He's due for one in this tournament.
Here's Max Noro trying to get it in. It goes off the stick of Yuri Simonak, and Canada will have to regroup. Christy Domenico gets it in for Marc-Antoine Pouliot. Back to Max Noro, who has 2 goals in the tournament so far. Pouliot. DiDomenico back into Pouliot, couldn't handle that pass. Cleared to the line, but kept it by Noro. Gets it back to DiDomenico, left wing circle. Canada in the 1-3-1 once again. There's a one-timer from the far side. Drilling that one was Brandon Gormley, the 24-year-old from PEI. Played in the AHL for Albany, Devils property. DiDomenico in the circle. Back to the point for Noro. Lets a wrist shot go, and you heard that clank off the glass. Sounding like old Gardens glass from the 80s, and it just comes out to center. DiDomenico back in for Pouliot. He goes back here for Kadek. Tried to get it into the slot, loses it, and back comes Roman Kuchenberg the other way, and he peels back, doesn't dump it in, but he peels back to rag the puck and kill more time than a dump in. Now they get it down the ice.
And that was a smart play by Mountfield. They saw Team Canada on a change. Excellent job bringing it back, kill time, and then the hard consequent clear out of the zone.
We are under 10 minutes to play here in period number 1, quarter final Thursday. I'm Steve Koulias in the broadcast booth here, high atop the Vaillant Arena. Doug Honegger between the benches. There's a shot, whistles wide by Mark Kadek, and the net is knocked off its plastic orange peg, and we get a stoppage.
Canada doing a nice job puck possession on the power play. Excellent. The biggest thing that I noticed from them right now, you can see the practice time has really benefited. The power play is working much better, although they didn't score on that opportunity. Doing a nice job. You can almost see them being able to control the puck at will.
9:19 to go in the period. Don't you love the referee cameras and the mics here? We feel we're right into the action in front of 7,000 plus here at the Vaillant Arena.
And I've gotten so many messages from friends and folks that are watching back home about the referee's camera, all asking why the National Hockey League isn't doing the same thing.
There's a look at veteran coach Dave King, semi-retired. He has coached for Canada at the Olympics in the NHL. On the bench here with Luke Richardson. I go back to 84, Sarajevo, as Dave King began his excellent work with Hockey Canada. Under 9 to go in period number 1. A goal by Andrew Ebbett, standing up so far. Canada against Mountfield. You mentioned Luke Richardson, the coach, Dave King on the bench. Don't forget Sean Burke, 2 decades in the game, 820 career NHL games. Was on the management team in Phoenix. Goalie coach as well. He knows something about international competition. I asked him, 92, that shootout, that goal didn't go in right against Germany. He just looked at me and said, come on, Steve. Gregory Campbell at center, over 800 games of NHL experience himself. Cup champion with Boston in 2011. Has it now. He has a man in front of the net, Paré. Tried to get it to him, but it didn't work, Doug.
No, in this line, I've talked about them really coming together. 11, Gregory Campbell. 88, James Shepard, who's really found his stride.
Shepard lost it there, and Lahotak brings it back. Lahotak with the puck, drops it, but it's picked off by Francis Paré. He comes in on a 3-on-3 rush. Loses the handle, and it's brought back out by Thibaut Monet. Fired in by Lahotak. Hits something at the bench, and we get a stop.
There's Gregory Campbell, just talked about him, over 800 games in the National Hockey League. Found he played a really strong game against Davos, and this line now with James Shepard, number 88, and Francis Paré, 40. Physical line, something that the European teams like Mountfield aren't used to playing against. I get a sense that they're going to have a big role to play this afternoon for Canada.
Mentioned Sean Burke involved with the Coyotes organization. Phoenix when he first started, Arizona now. The long rebuilding continuing in Arizona. As you look at some of the separation in the NHL standings so far, it appears Arizona will be in the lottery. Could get a chance to pick number 1 overall. 7:30 to go in period number 1. Andrew Ebbett, the goal scorer. Puck comes to the near corner, where Mason Raymond chips it there to the aforementioned Ebbett. Also on the ice is number 42, David McIntyre, a 5th-round pick of the Dallas Stars. Raymond cutting into the slot. Boy, can he handle the puck. Gets it in for Ebbett, went off his stick. McIntyre is there, so is Kuchenberg, and we get a stoppage. And we'll sort out a possible penalty when we come back live to Davos. Excellent work in the truck. Thank you, everybody. Face-off is controlled by Team Canada here at the Vaillant Arena, the 90th edition of the Spengler Cup. It all began as the oldest invitational hockey tournament in the world in 1923. Some of the pictures and paintings of that first game in the outside hockey, I'm jealous, Doug. I'm telling you right now, I feel like strapping on the skates and getting out there. Puck comes to Norro. Gets it to Gormley. There's a shot, fires it wide to the far side. Great work, one hand on the stick by Yuri Simonak to get it out.
But a really nice job by 89, Christy Domenico. This line, you just get a sense it's coming right down for them.
Laz Grigoruk tries to get it out near side, but it's kept in by Gormley. DiDomenico is there, Gormley's there, but the puck is not there. It's now down the ice.
A good job, Thomas Konotnik staying with the puck from Mountfield, wins the one-on-one battle on the boards and clears the zone for Mountfield.
The band is playing, the seats are packed, standing room only in the Davos Den. We've talked to people from Lethbridge, from Vancouver, from all over the country who have come here sporting Team Canada paraphernalia. And we even gave a mini tour, Doug, before the game, bringing 2 people from Calgary right to where you are.
And they loved it. From Grand Prairie, Alberta. They reached out to you on Twitter, and we were lucky enough to host it before the game. I think they really enjoyed it.
There's a chance at the side of the net, corralled now by Dustin Jeffrey. Back to the point for Mark Caddick. He has it poked off his stick there by Cervini, the former Western Hockey Leaguer. He throws his weight around. Great job on the penalty kill there, taking it down to under 15 seconds to go in the second minor of the game for Mountfield. Travis Earhart is off, but he'll be back in 5 seconds as it appears Mountfield will kill this penalty. Earhart comes out of the box and almost steamrolled. I think it was Nick Spalding right there, a la Mike Pekka, Ty Domi, circa 1999.
Oh, and he had Spalding, and you know what? Fair play to him. He could have laid Spalding out right there and backed up, pulled off, and real fair play to number 4, Jake Newton on that for Mountfield.
Here's Corey Emerton. Great small area game work there in the corner. Spinning away from one. Has it now, looking backdoor for Morrison. It goes off a skate down the ice.
Yeah, looking backdoor, but what I noticed from Canada the last 4 or 5 minutes, a little bit sloppy. Getting away from what worked for them in the first 10 minutes of the game, being much more direct and concentrated, bringing pucks to the net, instead playing a little bit too much here on the perimeter.
You know what I noticed yesterday and over the last few days about Zach Fucale, who has not had a lot of work so far? Just the, not arrogance, but confidence, the swagger that he has of a number 1 goalie who's been there before, who's won at Ivan Halinka World Juniors Memorial Cup. He was given a chance in game 2, and he's just so cool and calm because he's a guy who's been there before. There's a chance in front, stopped by Kachettel. Kachettel at one end, Fucale at the other end has been very good for Team Canada.
And I think you're right. There is a swagger that comes with being a number 1. I think it also is a function of having been there. I mean, he's represented Canada, you said, under 18s, under 20s. So he's here with Canada at the Spengler. This is not uncommon for him. He's used to wearing the Canada jersey, and he's used to wearing it as the number 1. This is exactly where he finds himself now in the quarterfinal against Mountfield.
21 years of age, is in the East Coast League now because of numbers 11-3 with the Brampton Beast. And when you first look at that, you say to yourself, what's he doing there? I guess it's really a matter of numbers.
Well, it isn't a matter of numbers in Montreal, but it's not uncommon for young goaltenders that end up ascending to the National Hockey League to spend time in the East Coast Hockey League. And one man comes to mind for me, Devin Dubnyk, played in the Coast, played for Canada here on 2 separate occasions at the Spengler, and now look what he's done with his career in Minnesota.
I can't believe the sheer numbers of players who have played in the East Coast Hockey League and have made their way to the NHL. At first blush, you wonder what it's like, but we're talking in the hundreds who have played at what is the 3rd level and then made their way all the way back. Speaking of goalies, happened with James Reimer, Alexander Burrows in Vancouver from the East Coast League, eventually to the National Hockey League. And last year we talked about the connection of the springboard from the Spengler to the NHL that includes George McPhee, Guy Boucher, Devin Setaguchi from Yekaterinburg, Dimitri Trampkin plays in Vancouver. And the list seems to go on and on with players who have played here. And you say the numbers since you've done this in 12 years is about 60?
Absolutely. I mean, the tournament is, I think there's 2 different types of guys. There are European players that are playing on their respective club teams that have been drafted, and this sort of serves as an additional point for teams to see how well they are and make a determining factor on whether or not to sign them. And secondly, a lot of Canadian players, we've had so many of them, in the dozens, that have played for Team Canada, the Spengler. And as you noted, Corey Conacher, another one from last year's team, that have used it as a springboard back to the National Hockey League.
4 games into his return to the NHL, Conacher had a goal and an assist. I know Tampa played last night and they won in overtime. They're going to take on Toronto tonight. Also back home in North America, the World Juniors, where Team Canada is 2-0 so far. Here's a chance by Cervini as he lets it go, the former Regina Pat. That was the most difficult save so far for Zach Fucale.
And see how calm he was in that. And Rudy Cervini, number 65 here from Mountfield, look at him coming over the blue line. Canada caught standing still right there. He has probably been Mountfield's most dominant player today. Physical, pretty skilled guy, played in the Western Hockey League. But you notice, Fucale, you mentioned earlier on the swagger, the confidence of being a number 1 goaltender. Well, he showed it there. Poised in the net and easily handled that slap shot from Cervini.
Speaking of the World Juniors, Fucale's save percentage in the 2015 victory in Toronto over Russia with Connor McDavid and company, .949. Goals against average was 1.20. Getting more international Team Canada time here. And you mentioned yesterday, of course, his Ivan Halinka gold in 2012. Here's Spalding, drops it to Genoway, side of the net. Rob there was number 25, Corey Emerton, on a tic-tac play that almost had the toe.
Yeah, and that was magic right there from Team Canada. Just a beautiful combination passing attempt. You thought Canada had their second, but a beautiful save by Andre Kachettel in the Mountfield goal.
Exactly 90 seconds to go, and a Very well played, well managed first period for Luke Richardson's crew. They lead 1-0. And another penalty's coming up to Mountfield as the puck is touched by Thomas Notek. He played in the queue with Halifax for 3 years. And now, Lahotak is not happy. Of course, use your discretion with some of the language. I mean, if that's the penalty, what are all these stick infractions? What are the players complaining about it? You don't get a penalty if your stick isn't impeding another player.
Well, absolutely, right? I mean, the stick it's waist high against Gregory Campbell. It's not like they're standing still. Campbell's in the process of going by him. Lahotak puts the stick up, as I said, waist high and gives him a tug. And the referee is standing right there. And you're absolutely right, Steve. If that's not a hooking, then what is?
Stick so far. You're pretty good, really. You guys had like some slashes. Be careful just on the stick. Huh? Good hits are okay, but the sticks.
Well, there you go. There's one of the referees explaining exactly what's happened so far. Don't impede with your stick, especially putting Team Canada on the power play again. We're Doug, they're 1 for 2 so far.
They are, and the ice is really bad right now. You're looking at an inch and a half of snow on. Really difficult to make those passes down low. Canada likes those tight passes in around the slot area. It's difficult because the ice is bad. Look at how much the puck is bouncing right now.
Kuchenberg and Rastislav Dej are on the ice as the first 2 penalty-killing forwards. Trying to bring that puck in was Max Norreau. He left it behind, and Jacob McFlicker will bring it right back in again. Another controlled entry. Gets it back to the point to Norreau. Canada setting up. Gormley to Marc-Antoine Pouliot. Quebec native and former first-round pick of the Oilers gets it to Gormley. Back in deep here for Christy Domenico. Over to Norreau, changes the angle, scores! Max Norreau lets it go. It may have been tipped in front by Pouliot. That's a power play goal, 2-0 Canada.
And that is beautiful. We talked about Maxime Norreau, shoots bombs, but watch the snapshot. First of all, a beautiful job by Pouliot. Keep an eye on 78 right here on the right-hand side. Watch Norreau right here. Uses Thomas Ragoon as a screen. Not a slap shot for young defensemen watching it. Just a toe drag, wrist shot, Pouliot in front of Cachetto, but that is perfect textbook power play from Canada. The puck to the blue line, drive in front of the net when there's no time and space. Don't waste your time with the slap shot. Quick snapshot, and there's Max Norreau, a pivotal member of Team Canada's blue line.
Team Canada is now 2 for 3 on the power play, and for Max Norreau, that is his 3rd goal, Doug, of this tournament. He is the tournament goal-scoring leader.
And that, you know, when you and I talked about this in the opening game, I had spoken to Dave King, and Dave King said, listen, this is our power play guy. He can do it all. Playmaker, but a great shot. We've seen him bomb from the blue line. He obviously has a big slot shot, but that was just, I love watching that. That's just presence of mind. That's the veteran experience that you want from your quarterback when the big shot isn't there. Toe drag, wrist shot, back of the net.
The first period winding down as Gregory Campbell, our second intermission guest, gets it in front. And Luke Richardson is a happy man with the way his team has played so far, dominating in all categories, including shots on goal, which officially are 12-4 in favor of Canada.
And you bet Luke Richardson and his staff are going to be pleased with that period. I thought the execution was fantastic from Canada. They followed the game plan perfectly. And if you're the coaching staff, what you like to see most, goaltender Zach Foucault playing well, and the team continuing to improve through the first period of the third game.
Andrew Ebbett on the power play, Max Norreau on the power play. 2-0 Canada. You're watching the 90th edition of the Spengler Cup live right here on TSN. 5 minutes on the clock on headset. Oh, it's officially 4. Two questions, eh? Okay, I got you now. I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Noted.
Oh, I remember you from last year. Oh, I thought you and Doug talked last year downstairs. Oh, somebody who looks like you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Perfect. I think the best time tonight, I think starts 8:15. So maybe around 7:40, I'll be down there. We'll do a quick commercial for the show, and then I got free time. 7:40, we'll meet down by the beers. That's where we, yeah, 7:40. Steve Cooley's. Thank you very much. Thank you. Doug's between the benches. He's going to be there any second. You'll see him beside the guy with the red shirt. No, he just listens. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to take pictures. Yeah, if you go beside Doug, you get great pictures. Oh, I'll tell him you're coming. Okay, your name again? Philip. Philip. Doug Honegger, can you hear your partner?
I can very well. Can you hear me?
Philip from Swiss newspaper wants to do a feature on us tomorrow.
What paper?
I couldn't understand. They're going to come in the truck if Charbonne says it's okay. Take a picture beside you. Whatever he said, I basically said, if it's okay with the boss, it's okay with me.
Okay. Is he going to come? What's he going to do? Come and see us after the game, or?
Thank you.
The best two passports to have.
Team Canada has won the Spengler Cup 13 times, Davos 15 times. Canada, of course, led by Guy Boucher, George McPhee winning last year. This year it is the Sean Burke, Luke Richardson show. And so far, so good, Doug, especially here, up by a score of 2-0.
Yeah, that was an excellent start to this game for Canada. I thought they played outstanding. I thought it was their best period of the hockey through the tournament. And if you're the coaching staff, you're really encouraged by the progression of this hockey club.
This is what we call, as icing's coming up against Mountfield from the Czech Republic. They are in black, Canada, of course, in white with the red trim. Semifinal Friday. Lugano will be there, Minsk will be there. If Canada wins this game, they will play Minsk. Davos plays Yekaterinburg tonight here, and the winner of that game plays Lugano. So that's how the tournament is set up the rest of the way. Canada officially, I'm told, by our producer Michael Charbon, 2 for 4 officially on the power play in the first period. 2 power play goals, one by Andrew Ebbett, the other one by Max Norreau with Pouliot in front of the net, but Pouliot, Doug, did not touch the puck.
No, but a good job getting in front of Andre Kachettel in the Mountfield goal. It's an excellent, that's a classic Canadian power play. Puck to the blue line, great shot by Norreau, and the screen from Pouliot.
Here's Mason Raymond, a veteran of over 500 NHL games, gets it back to the point. That shot by Morrison was more of a pass for McIntyre. And back comes Yaroslav Bednar the other way. Nice move to get around the defenseman Blake Parlett. And back comes Canada the other way. Here's Chris DiDomenico, the Woodbridge, Ontario native, trying to go outside, inside on his man, Gregork, but it didn't work. Here's Parlett, near side for Morrison. Sean Morrison shot, and it didn't miss the near corner by much. At center is Rastislav Dej. He gets it in and heads to the bench.
Good job of Kenny. You see how well they were back, solidified the neutral zone beautifully, won the puck, and now that nice control breakout. 7 Parlett, 82 Sean Morrison on Team Canada's blue line.
Here's Parlett now getting it out through center. It's a gloved pass to a teammate by our first period guest, Jake Newton. So we get a stoppage.
And Jake Newton playing here for Mountfield. The U.S. defenseman, pardon me, a big part of this team. The head coach, Vaclav Sikora, likes what the North Americans bring. He's got 2 North Americans on this club, and he has a number of his players that spend time in the CHL. He likes the quality, that sort of aggressive quality that players pick up, either bring with them or pick up during their time spent in the CHL.
No Alexander Picard, if you're wondering, from Mountfield. He is out of the lineup. Of course, he went 8th overall in the Ovechkin draft, which was 2004. Played with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, the rosters are thick with a lot of players, and as we've seen with Davos, especially, obviously being at home, I mean, there's almost 30 players on some of these rosters, Doug.
Well, the key for teams is to load up. You want to have an extra block, an extra 2 defensemen, extra 3 forwards at a minimum, because potentially you're playing 5 games in 6 days, so it's very important to have a deep roster.
And as I talked to Jake Newton about in the first intermission, it's more than just about a tournament. It's the atmosphere. It's where we are. As there's a chance by Jurasek rolls towards the net. It really is a week-long festive experience, isn't it, Doug?
Well, it is. I mean, look at the setting. We're in Davos, Switzerland, one of the most beautiful places you could imagine holding a hockey tournament. Then you combine that with 6 really good hockey teams, beautiful weather, a sold-out arena. I mean, it really doesn't get much better if you're a hockey fan.
Here's a chance in front of the net, negated by Sean Heshka's active stick. And that's an example of using your stick, not having it parallel on the ice, and negating a scoring chance. Nicely done by number 26 in red and white.
And you're absolutely right, and that's a mistake that a lot of guys have been making in the tournament, not keeping their stick on the ice.
Gregory Campbell to Genoway out in front as Emerton had his opportunity thwarted by a great back-checking work there by Zdenek Cap. On the far side, here's Max Norreau, leads the tournament with 3 goals. Norreau gets it to the near side to Flood. Back behind the net to Colby Genoway. Back to Norreau at the left point. Into Genoway, who's being watched closely there by Mikhail Dragoon. Here's Emerton in front to Genoway, and a nice piece of stick work there by Kachettel, or that puck would have been in the back of the net, no doubt, as he stopped the centering feed. Here's a chance for Flood, but it just rolled off his stick. Canada controlling the play. Corey Emerton, second round pick of the Red Wings, 06. Wanted to shoot, thought twice, has it, right wing circle. faking a shot. This is not a power play, but this is Team Canada showing their power as that deflection by Genoway just goes wide.
And Canada doing a great job taking advantage of the fact that number 28, Alice Pavlis, playing without a stick.
Puck is fired in by Noro, and everyone changes there as back comes Mountfield the other way on a bit of a break. Here's Dragoon in front of the net for Cervini. He couldn't get his stick on that one. Cycled in the corner and now behind the net, but it's a white sweater, Brandon Gormley, who's there, who helps start the rush. Blake Parlett to Gormley, comes to the near side to Mason Raymond with that familiar skating stride, gives it away there and gets it back again. As we approach the 5-minute mark with the band playing on here in Davos, Switzerland, the arena called the Vaillant Arena. All 11 games of this tournament are sold out. We play 11 games in 5.5 days. And the championship game is the 31st of December. Noon start here, which is 6 a.m. in Toronto, 3 a.m. where Mason Raymond used to play in Vancouver. Here's Dej, gets it to Kuchenberg. The former Marley centers it, but a nice defensive play by Chris DiDomenico, who gets it to the line. Now it comes out to Mason Raymond. He's at the end of a shift, so he smartly chips it in, and there's DiDomenico giving chase. The 27-year-old who's played in the Q, the East Coast League, the AHL, and in Italy, just loves playing the game of hockey. We joked around yesterday at dinner that DiDomenico will be playing into his late 30s or maybe 40s because he loves the game that much now.
Yeah, you can tell it's so infectious out there, but you see that as well from number 71, Jake McFlicker. These guys just love the game, and it's so apparent by the way they play it.
There's a shot by Pouliot as he comes out from behind the net, but is denied there by Cashano. Canada up 2-0.
You're like a hockey Wikipedia, Steve.
Thank you, sir. Play just underway here at the 90th Spengler Cup. Canada with a 2-0 lead. Gregory Campbell, our second intermission guest, number 11, takes a bump to make a play. He got it to Shepard, who got it to Paré, who didn't miss the net by much. Campbell in the far corner. Loses the handle there. It's picked up by Dragoon, and he gets it out to center. The festive atmosphere here the week after Christmas and before New Year's has everyone in a good mood as Paré's shot goes off Newton and out of play.
But nice job by Canada. We're not the transition. When I look at a team and I want to see how well they're improving and progressing, I look at the transition. Here's a nice earlier play right there. Look at Pouliot, 78, McFlicker 71 into the plate. You're driving the net, but Canada doing such a lovely job now. They're defensively in great position, and then the smooth transition back up the ice. Everybody seems to be in sync with one another. A clear sign of how much chemistry Canada is building here in this game.
Face-off is controlled by Mountfield. Great work on the face-off there by Thomas Notek. Notek gets it out to center. Goes off Lucas Lahotak's stick. It ends up on the stick of Sean Morrison, who gives it right back again. In over the line. There's a shot. Fucale makes a nice stop as Thibaut Monet let that one rip. Another shot near side from Travis Earhart. Gloved by Fucale, and he hangs on.
And you can see that a nice job. The shot came in. Fucale made the save, and a beautiful job. You're going to see it right here. The shot comes in from Thibaut Monet. Easily handled. The rebound comes up. Sean Morrison, 82, comes across and clears the front of it. A nice job. Good communication right there from Team Canada. There's 82. Sean Morrison referenced him a moment earlier. Good communication down low from Team Canada.
12:55 to play here in this second period. Face-off to the left of the second-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens, Zach Fucale. 2013 draft. Just went after the first round. There's a shot from in close by Simonak, but it went off a stick and behind the net. Picking it up is Dustin Jeffrey, and he starts the rush. In front of the net is Andrew Ebbett, wants the puck, doesn't get the puck, but a nice play there by David McIntyre to center it, and now chases it back all the way into his own zone. Fucali gives it away. Servini couldn't corral it in the slot. Comes to the near side to Cap. There's a feed on a one-timer for Servini. Great feed by Zdeněk Cap, but he could not get a good shot away. Getting hauled down on the play by McIntyre was Servini. And I think Mountfield has a cause here for concern, but there was no penalty as the referees, let's listen in, are having a bit of a chat. Take a look to the left of your screen, Doug. There's where all the action occurred.
Yeah, they're gonna make an argument on Mountfield that there should be a penalty, but if you notice, it looked like Servini tried to slew foot number 42, David McIntyre.
Well, there does not appear to be a power play on the play, and there's Yaroslav Bednar.
That's what we do here for.
Saying, what are you here for? Second round pick of the Kings in 01. Has played with LA and Florida in the NHL. But as you alluded to, maybe there could have been a slew foot and a high stick on the play, so maybe we'd be just 4-on-4 anyway.
Well, I think Servini's lucky he didn't get called for the slew foot, and any high sticking would have been incidental or coincidental, pardon me, because the stick would have come up as David McIntyre was falling down. But that was a bit of a dangerous play. Servini came from behind McIntyre and kicked his leg from under him, and it was lucky that he didn't go off for the 2-minute minor.
Exactly 8 minutes gone. 12 minutes left in period number 2 of a 2-0 Team Canada lead. As you can just feel Luke Richardson's team getting better with each and every shift, period, and game. Now their third contest of the tournament, leading 2-0, winning the face-off to Jacob McFlicker as he brings it in there with Chris DiDomenico. He's in after it, colliding with Stanislav Dej, third year with the organization. There's a shot by Blake Parlett from the right point. DiDomenico in front for Pouliot, and then gets it back again as Pouliot's shot didn't find its way to the net. DiDomenico trying to center it, lost it, gets it back, and sends it back to number 7, Blake Parlett, to start the play again. Comes to DiDomenico down the right wing, his shot blockered aside by Kachetel, and it's brought to center ice by Richard Jurasek. Number 96, 2 goals in the tournament so far. Shot deflects off the stick of Heshka into the corner. Now it comes out to center. Puck is cleared to the line, but not out. Shot there from a sharp angle by Stonic. Did miss the far post by much. And perhaps Fucali caught a bit of a break. In front's Campbell. He wants that feed from Paré. It never got to him. And it's back out to center as we approach the halfway mark of this period. 2-0, Doug, in favor of Canada. There's a shot right in on goal. And a nice save by Dragoon, or a save by Fucali on the Dragoon shot. And the key there, no rebound.
Well, the key there, a couple things. A, you're going to see the shot from Dragoon, number 29 in black. Fucali perfectly positioned, but Canada sloppy on this last 2 shifts. 2 times unable to clear the zone. What happens? Resulting opportunities for Mountfield. Coming over the blue line. You've talked about it repeatedly, Steve, on the air, with me off the air. How do you enter the zone? Canada not doing a good job on those last 2 shifts, entering the Mountfield zone.
Puck comes out to center. Controlled by Notek, gets it over to his partner, Travis Earhart. Back to Notek, streaking down the left wing. Notek has a man going to the front of the net, instead back to the point for a shot. Saved by Fucali. As letting that one go right there, number 28, Alice. But it was right on and easily swallowed by the Canadian keeper.
There's a couple things on that play. Number one, Canada is doing a very good job clearing the slot in front of Fucale. If you notice, he's seeing every shot. And then the second part of that equation is look how well positioned he is. You mentioned it, and I agree with you 100%. There's a confidence to his game right now. His positioning is efficient. There's no wasted movement, and he's seeing the shots come in, which is doing him a huge favor as well.
The way it works here at the Valence Arena in Davos is right where the face-off is in the area to my left and to your far right. There's a Team Canada section, and that's where all the players, friends, and families, wives, and kids all hang out. And it's a great party place, and it's part of the festivities that we've talked about so far, Doug.
Yeah, and you know what? The Team Canada families and the wives and the kids have been part of this tournament now. The fans here know where Canada are located. You mentioned in the corner, everybody in their red jerseys, and they're really a big part of this event. I know that for many people here, they're the second home team.
And you can see it right there, top left-hand corner of your screen, as Blake Parlett was felled by a high stick. He's touching his face right in front of you. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, just got the stick up high on him, but fortunately it doesn't look to be too serious. He's here beside me on the bench. Everything looks to be okay.
Here's Yaroslav Bednar. He tries to feed Kuchenberg at the side of the nets. Back to Bednar, but it goes to an open wing, and Pare knocks it out, trying to make it a 2-on-1 with Mason Raymond. Pare lost the handle momentarily as Raymond was streaking towards the goal.
Yeah, the puck just got away from me. Would have had the opportunity to slide it across to the streaking Mason Raymond, number 21. A good job again. Francis Pare has done a really nice job, number 40 for Team Canada.
Nice play there by Stanislav Dietz to break up that long lead feed. As Gregory Campbell, number 11, our second intermission guest, Stanley Cup champion, brings it in as Canada changes on the fly.
One of the things Canada has to adjust to now, I'm noticing the Czech side is playing a lot more defensive, the way we've become accustomed to with Czech teams. They've got to get back to bringing the puck and being more consequent, bringing it to the net, more shots on goal, less play on the perimeter. That is playing to the Czechs' advantage.
Puck comes to the near side for Marc-Antoine Pouliot. Chipped to center by McFlicker, and he's got a break. No, he does not, because he hauled down Kohler. Power play, Mountfield after this.
He got the penalty. He got the penalty. We called that, all right? It's not neutral, okay?
But hey.
There's a look at Luke Richardson, head coach of Team Canada. Vaclav Sikora with the glasses running the show for Mountfield. They are on the power play. Jacob McFlicker, Doug, is in the box.
They are, and keep an eye out for number 9. Big black, number 9 in black, Kohler. You're going to see a lot of him in front of that. And like Rudy Saravini as well, 65, he's going to be looking for that cross-team pass, backdoor with number 27, Dej.
Right down, flat down, good.
Face-off is controlled by Mountfield. 4 forwards on the ice, including Yaroslav Bednar, who does man the left point. He has it now in the left wing corner. Out in front, one-timer. Oh, he just failed to bury that one. Stanich from a sharp angle. Here's Bednar again. Has it, waiting, has Kohler in front of the net. Getting hacked and whacked there by Heshka. Far side, swing and a miss. Rastislav Dej, but it's kept in by Grigork. Over to Dej, far side. Tries to get it to Servini in front. Canada short-handed 2-on-1. Here they go, heading to the front of the nets. Emerton. Oh, what a save on Corey Emerton. Robbed there by Andre Cachettel. Robbed him, I tell you, Dougie. Robbed him. Here's Grigork at the line. Tight roping his way so it doesn't come out. And now it does. Shot down the ice by Team Canada.
And what an opportunity by Corey Emerton. A great pass over from Nick Spaulding. A no-look pass. Emerton, I thought he had Canada's 3rd goal on the stick, but an outstanding kick save from Andre Cachettel. And here it is right here. Great pass. Spalling Emerton just on the outside. Look at that. It was there. We would have got some elevation on that puck. It would have been Canada's third. And now we're going to be seeing some 4-on-4 hockey, I believe. Mountfield being called for too many men on the ice. None too pleased at all. There's head coach Vaclav Sikora, legend in in Czech hockey. Can't be happy with that miscommunication on the bench. A 5-on-4 power play, a great opportunity to get back into this hockey game. And what do? They end up kicking a sloppy. Those are the mind-numbing penalties when you take a too many men on the ice penalty against with a power play that's not thinking. That is a energy killer. Gives Canada the break that they're looking for now. They're going to play 4-on-4 hockey and then go on to what has been a very good power play for them.
48 seconds, Doug, in the minor penalty to McFlicker. And then as you alluded to, barring another penalty or two, Canada will have a power play as Jake Newton carries in nicely over to Martin Stonich. Easily steered aside by Fucali. 30 seconds left for now in the 4-on-4. And then a power play for Team Canada. Still amazed at that save by Andre Cachettel on Corey Emerton. He did the Crosby, one knee down. Here's Mason Raymond, side of the net, they score! Brandon Gormley bangs it in. Number 3 makes it 3-0 Canada.
And the bad penalty just sets the table right there. Although it's 4-on-4, it's an energy killer for Mountfield. You can see they were deflated when they went back out there. Great job of Canada right here. Look at this. Ebbett, watch the beautiful, look at that pass from Mason Raymond back to Ebbett, and a lovely job. We've talked about activation. Look at number 3, Brandon Gormley, the Canadian defenseman, right down low on the top of the blue paint to tap it home. But that was a beautifully executed 3-on-2 for Team Canada.
What patience by Mason Raymond. A lot of guys would have touched the cedar roof and hammered it. But again, the art of deception. They used the 3 players like a triangle so well, Doug. And as a result, they're now up by 3 with the power play coming up.
And the width of the ice. You know, you have more ice to play with. They were wider as they came in. It was a beautiful cross as well. The way Ebbett dropped it back and then crossed over to the left-hand side. And I like what Gormley did. We're taught as young players to drive to the opposite post, and that's exactly what he did. The rebound came to him, the tap in, but a lovely, lovely setup from Mason Raymond, number 21 for Team Canada.
Of the 3 goals, maybe the Max Neuro 2-0 goal, Cachettel should have stopped, but the other 2 goals, crossing the proverbial Royal Road, the slot line. And in the NHL, we've talked before that shooting a puck inside the blue line, your chances of scoring around 3%. As soon as you cross the slot line, it goes up 30% and another 30 every time it goes back and forth. And we've seen Canada make plays and cross the proverbial Royal Road to score quite often in this tournament.
And you're absolutely right. And it makes me wonder when guys are in that position, why they even look to pass. And I know that the numbers do go up slightly, but when you're in the great area, you're in a shooting lane like that, now we're going to be looking at a 5-on-3 Team Canada advantage. Travis Earhart going off. He's going to go off for a hold in front of the net. Gives Canada an unbelievable opportunity right here to go up by 4, 5-on-3. Although keep in mind, you can see it, Steve, from where you are. I'm right here beside the ice. There's an inch of snow on the ice. It reminds me of playing on the outdoor rinks right now.
Finish your thought about choosing to pass over giving up a shot, an excellent scoring opportunity here.
Right, early, as I mentioned, when you're down in the slot area, I find there's a tendency, particularly over here, and I think it's more of a European thing more so than a North American. We shoot more at home. The guys overhandle the puck. They're always looking for those beautiful plays. You know, for those of us that have watched the Russians, the Czechs, the Swedes, and the Finns growing up, they always look for that extra pass, and I find that kills so many great scoring chances. And that play by Mason Raymond, although he had the shot, and you talked about it, many guys would have looked to shoot. That was a slightly different situation. He had a guy that was right on the side of the net, but too often guys overplay the puck, and I feel like they take away a scoring chance rather than create one.
Here's Max Nero at the point, has Gormley with him, and Pouliot, left wing circle. Gormley, who just scored one-timer, but he didn't get good composite on that one. Gormley, Nero, shot blocked in front by Steinach. The too many men on the ice penalty's now over. It's a 5-on-4 power play. Behind the net is Jeffrey. Coughs it up, and it's shot down the ice by Mountfield.
And I know what Jeffrey was looking to do. He saw Evan in the slot, but that might be an opportunity to spread things out. The ice is bad. Buy time, get set up, because it's clear right now that Canada can do pretty much what they want on the power play.
Winding up is Chris DiDomenico. The 27-year-old is stopped there at the line. Good defensive play by Yuri Simonak. And Canada will have to start out again. Under a minute to go in the power play, under 5 in the period. Canada up 3-0. And a matchup against Minsk is looming large right now. This is quarterfinal Thursday. The semis go Friday. And the championship match, noon local time here in beautiful, picturesque, and also very warm during the day, around 5 degrees, Doug. It makes walking and outdoor cafe weather very nice.
But I'll tell you where it's not warm is rinkside for me right now. It's the first game now I have to wear gloves.
DiDomenico in the right wing corner gets it back to number 7, Blake Parlett, into Mason Raymond. 14 in the minor penalty. DiDomenico curling, high slot into Mason Raymond, right wing circle, back to Parlett at the point, shot easily steered aside by Kachetl, who has been strong for Mountfield. The penalty is over to Earhart. He comes out of the box and into the play. Dumps it in with under 3:20 to go in the period. Canada dumps it in, and Zdeněk Cap behind his own net. Cap has no play, so he just shoots it out to center ice. Parlett to Heshka in his own zone. Off the stick of Paré, and then James Shepard gives chase. Losing the puck momentarily was Campbell. Kick now to DiDomenico. Check that, make that 88, James Shepard. James Shepard hauls down his man. Zdeněk Cap takes a spill. Cap draws the penalty as Shepard is in the box.
Yeah, not fully sure about that penalty. Shepard and Cap right alongside each other. You'll see it right here, 88. Shepard and Cap, the stick did get in on him, but watch this right here. It looks like Cap takes a bit of a dive. Come on, that right arm went up into the air. It was a little too obvious for me, but I think there could be some payback on behalf of Mountfield right now. Having taken so many penalties here in the second period, you get a sense maybe the referees are looking to even things up slightly.
Well, it might be a 3-0 penalty. James Shepard is off, and Mountfield's power play is on. Mountfield from the Czech Republic were this year, they're 6th in the overall standings. 17-9-6 record, and they are scoring in their league. They've been scoring in this tournament, except for today, where they're shut out so far by Zach Fucali. Emerton collides with Cervini in the far corner. Comes back here to Bednar. Bednar playing catch at the points with number 15, Grigork. There's a one-time attempt by Rastislav Dej, but he didn't get good wood on that one. Here's Dej inside the blue right wing circle. Comes to Bednar's shot, almost knocked the stick of McIntyre out of his hand. Morrison to his partner Parlett, who gets it 200 feet.
And a nice job again by number 42, David McIntyre, getting in front of that shot from Bednar. The puck goes down low, and a good job, Blake Parlett winning it. And then it's all about the execution when you clear the zone. Make sure you fire it hard out of your zone.
Under 2 to go in the second stanza. And we approach the 1-minute mark in the James Shepard penalty. Almost 400 NHL games to Shepard's credit. From Halifax, Nova Scotia, his second year here in Switzerland. As the puck comes to Mikhail Dragoon. Dragoon along the near boards, gets it back to the point, controlled by Desirens, over to Newton. Newton with a shot, and he just missed the far post. Comes to Paré, and he gets it all the way down the ice.
And with the ice bad the way it is right now, the Czech side reverting back to a Canadian-style power play, pucks to the blue line, crash the net, and hope for a rebound or a deflection.
Puck comes to McIntyre, gets it to Emerton. He sends it the rest of the way. Under 20 seconds to go in the Shepherd penalty, and under a minute to go in quarterfinal number 1. Canada leading 3-0. Brandon Gormley scoring moments ago to make it a 3-0 game. Here's a chance by Notek, denied, rebound stopped again. And another penalty is coming up. Fucale doing his thing, but now there's a tripping call with 45.6 on the clock.
And you're going to see Notek coming right here. Watch how well Fucale stayed with it. The eyes never left the puck. The body was square. Perfect position to make that save. And now, as you mentioned, Brandon Gormley going off for the tripping minor.
13th overall pick in 2010. Brandon Gormley from Prince Edward Island. Played in the AHL with Albany. And time with the Coyotes and the Avs as well. Luke Richardson trying to get through this period, leading 3-0. Here's Grigork, one-timer, Bednar scores! Yaroslav Bednar, it only took 5 seconds. Mountfield is on the board, it's now 3-1.
And Bednar, we've talked about him, even at 40 years of age, still their #1 offensive threat. Man to left, point on the power play, can still shoot the puck, reads the game so well. You're gonna see on this play, the faceoff is one back to Gorge. Watch him slide right over here, the fake shot, pass over from Gorge. Look where Bednar is, in the sweet spot. High shot, he knew Fucale's going down, watch the shot come in, beats him on the blocker's side, passed, shot, goal. That's the recipe for Mountfield's power play goal.
We talked about Bednar and Jurasek in the opening of the broadcast. Jurasek has not been as noticeable. The bearded wonder, former Saginaw Spirit. Bednar on the one-timer and on the power play. He loves to set up there, and that's why he was a second-round pick of the Kings, and this year is almost a point-a-game player in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, and I spoke to the coach Vaclav Sikor, and I asked him, how can a 40-year-old still be so important to you guys? And he said, listen, to your point, what you've talked about so often, Steve, the love of the game. He said Bednar just loves to play, and he's in condition. The difference today with athletes is they can play, if they love the game and they're mentally still fresh, the training habits of players today are so different from what they were even 10 years ago. And Bednar is a fitness nut, and he's in great shape, and that has allowed him to still play at such a high level at close to 40 years of age.
Just listen to this crowd, the singing, the music, the chanting, the scarfs. Boy, that'd be a nice Christmas present, Doug. Belated. Under 40 to go as Yaroslav Bednar has Mountfield on the board. 3-1 is the score. Gregory Campbell will join me in our second intermission. And of course, Vic Crowder will have all the highlights, tidbits from Mission Control in Toronto. World Juniors going on, Spengler Cup going on, as DiDomenico loses it momentarily to Bednar. Campbell centers it, and it comes out to center ice with under 10 to play. There is the horn, the period is over. Canada's still in good position, Doug, up 3-1 after 40 minutes.
They are. Another good fury from Canada, but that late power play goal by Yaroslav Bednar is going to give Mountfield a sense of optimism as they go into the third period.
Shots on goal in this period favoring Mountfield 16-8. As the score is 3-1 after 40 minutes, there's Vaclav Sikora. Needs to mount a comeback in period 3 to move on semifinal, or make that quarterfinal Thursday.
Yeah.
Beispiel einer gesehen, das andere Ski ja Bilder schneidet und nicht wir. Ich habe denen gesagt, wenn unser Logo nicht mehr auf dem Screen ist, dann ist es nicht unseres. Dann können sie weitermachen. Ich habe gesagt, wenn das Logo nicht auf dem Screen ist und sie trotzdem, dann ist es nicht wir. Dann ist keiner Regie.
Und jetzt sind wir gespielt, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer. Wenn ich jetzt hier alle von der Führung Davos stand, muss ich fragen, ja, das ist alles im offenen Zeitzeugen in Führung stand. Ja, aber das ist nicht so lang gemacht. Wenn es nicht so, wenn das jetzt so ein Kind oder Führung Davos, dann ist es gar nicht, muss es nicht mehr auflösen, aber ich weiß nicht, wie man wird gespielt. Und zwar mit 6 Kandidatinnen, respektive Kandidaten. Als Kandidaten, das hätte ich gerade ich stelle hier gerne vor, und zwar mit der Nummer 1 auf der Südtribüne, mit Vincenzo Urskam in Jekaterinburg, mit Gianmarco Urskul im Team Kanada-Shirt und Lukas Stiensdorf im ACD-Shirt willkommen. Und auf der Nordseite mit der Nummer 1 der Balmin aus Linz, der Björn aus Jewins, 2 Unternehmen aus Metzingen im Shirt von ACD, die Shirts von uns der Hockey zur Verfügung gestellt. Da ist der Schön, wenige Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer für ein einfaches Shirt kaufen, das so Merchandise von unserem Hockey. Wenige Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer können jetzt auch mitspielen. Randi, führen an, will jetzt sein App auf und drücken und Tausendspiel 1, 2 oder 3. Dann sind wir ins Ringen. Sie fragen, liebe Kandidaten, hier kommt Frage 1. Spengler feiert das Jahr 90 Geburtstag. In den ersten 10 Jahren, also in den Kinderjahren von dem Turnier, bis 1932, hat eine Mannschaft das Turnier 4-mal gewonnen. In den ersten 10 Jahren 4-mal gewonnen. Welche Mannschaft handelt es? 1. Berliner Schlittschuhklub, 2. Oxford University und 3. HC Davos. Und ab die Post. In den ersten 10 Jahren 4-mal gewonnen. Welche Mannschaft 1, 2 oder 3 aufgelegt gestört? Sicher, Metz, Bierfachwelt. Respektive die anderen Länder werden abstellen. Eine Start und richtig Startwort. 2. Oxford University jetzt allerletzte Turnier 1925. 25 in Risiko. 32 sind noch als Top-Stoppschauer. Oxford University. Ganz Bruder, aber auch nicht mehr. Gut. Frage 2. Und jetzt noch ein Dimitri. Und Dimitri, komm mal zu mir. Frage 2. Dimitri, erzählt euch jetzt gerade ein Blick, respektive ein Move. Erzählt euch, er schießt das Rohr und dann ist natürlich praktisch das Ace. 2. Blicke oder 3. Vorverschreck. Los geht's. Zeig uns. Und wenn ihr das Goal macht, dann geht in der fetten Applaus. 1, 2 oder 3. Ziemlich groß bewegt. Backhand, Vorblicke, Vorverschrecken. Spielst du Hockey? Das ist halt auch für uns geil. Und richtig ist natürlich das Oberblick. Ja, klar, ich habe mir aufgesetzt, aber hey, was soll's? Die Frage dürfen nicht sehen, wie jetzt schwierig ist. Es ist ein Bier. Also, jetzt, wir haben 2 Kugeln bei den einen. Und 1 Kugel beim Gianmarco. Ja, das ist eine Mann. Gut, also jetzt muss Spaß geben, Gianmarco. Dritte und letzte Frage. Welches ist in der Schweiz das meistverkaufte Produkt von Wirt?
What's next?
Hey, what's next?
On headset here, 3:30
Danke.
headsets.
Was ist denn im Spiel da?
Which piece? They covered it nice, nice. I'm getting distracted.
For what? For what? Yeah. Thank you. It's so so nice having that IFB. It makes a big difference. Big difference. Those smelling salts are so good. The smelling salts. Sorry? Can I get it? Do you have it? Can I get an extra one? Definitely one. The smelling of the smelling salts. Or just the smelling salts that we had at the beginning of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is that okay? Well,
Take any one of those.
thank you. I'll just take that whole bag.
Welcome back to the Vaillant Arena here in Davos, Switzerland, as we have another dandy for you. That man, Zach Fucali, has only given up one goal as Canada leads Mountfield by a score of 3-1. Canada, if you're just joining us, in the quarters, in white with the red and black trim. There's a little whiteboard session right behind you, Doug, at the Team Canada bench. Mountfield in black, trailing 3-1.
There's assistant coach Gordy Dwyer, coaches Zagreb in the KHL. I've noticed he's been doing a lot of board coaching during the tournament, doing a lot of individual work. There's another example. The board is out. What he's explaining to them now, Steve, is positioning. He wants to maintain positioning. It's been a focus of his through the 3 games so far in this tournament. Doesn't want Canada to lose position, but he also wants to make sure that that is consistently reinforced on the bench.
Here comes number 7, Blake Parlett through center. Marc-Antoine Pouliot also on the ice. Puck comes to the near side. In after it is Martin Flanick. He gets it behind the net, but then the Mountfield club retreats and Canada brings it back the other way. Pouliot into the slot. Di Domenico wanted to pass, didn't see a white sweater because Canada was changing on the play. And it's picked up by Zdenek Cap, 24-year-old defenseman in his second full season. 31 regular season games. He's got a goal on the backhand for Vaclav Sikora. There's a long lead feed that's chipped in by Rastislav Dej, who's had a very good tournament so far. A lot of energy for Mountfield.
He is, and he's physical. He's a pretty well-rounded player. Decent offensively. We've seen him block shots and isn't afraid to lay the body on either.
At center, here's Mason Raymond, 3-on-2, has McIntyre with him instead. Feeds it back for Morrison, shot save, rebound in front. McIntyre there, Raymond there, and there's a penalty here for holding as Canada draws another one, just a $1.18 in.
And this is the strength. There's big Stanislav D's going off right here, number 67, but it's about driving the net. You talked about Luke Richardson wanting Canada to play Canadian hockey. Look at this right here, it's driving the net. David McIntyre, 42, pulled down by Deeds, 67. Canada hockey, it's something we've grown up with. Shots come to the net and you converge on the crease.
Doug, let's keep it with you and check in with Honegger's hunches. How are you doing?
Well, I think quite well. Canada continues to improve. 3-1 scoreline certainly shows that. Puck possession for Canada. If you notice, the only dump-ins we're seeing on zone entry are strategic. Canada doing a really good job with maintaining that. And then NHL experience definitely making a difference. Andrew Ebbett's goal, Max Thoreau, 2 former NHLers scoring this afternoon for Team Canada.
There's an offside there as Andrew Ebbett corralled the puck, but on the far side, I believe that was Mason Raymond. He of over 500 NHL games, to his credit, was a step ahead of the play.
Yeah, and it's zone entry, it's zone entry, it's zone entry. It's one of the points that we're going to continue to reinforce. Canada wants to come through with speed, particularly this line, and keep an eye on number 21, Mason Raymond, the fastest skater for Team Canada.
Coming up later tonight, right here on TSN, Davos, 8:15 local start, 2:15 in Toronto, 11:15 a.m. in Vancouver. We'll take on Yekaterinburg. The winner of that game plays Lugano. The winner of this game plays Minsk. Minsk beat Team Canada by a score of 7-4 in the opener, as there's a backhanded attempt by Dustin Jeffrey, but Andre Kachettel was there to shut the door. Caddick up top, Canada going into the 1-3-1. Leaving that one was Ebbett. He thought Raymond was there, but he gets it back again anyway. Ebbett, around 2, sends it to Flood. There's a shot, save, rebound, scores! Mason Raymond, number 21 at the side of the net, has scored again, and it's now 4-1 Canada.
And really nothing Andre Kachettel could do on that, but keep an eye on this play by Andrew Ebbett, number 19. Kept the puck in on the blue line, stick handle in a phone book. Watch the puck right here. Look at 19, gloves it down. Watch the stick handling move right here. The puck over to Mark Flood, 36, the slap shot. Canadian hockey, right? 15, Dustin Jeffrey on the right-hand side. 21, Mason Raymond on the left-hand side. Andrew Ebbett, 19, coming in. The puck comes over to Raymond. Is that not textbook Canadian power play?
Well, the 2 goals on the power play that Mason Raymond has scored has been almost from the same spot. Now, he kind of accidentally, on purpose, got that. I'm not sure he wanted that type of one-timer. He didn't get great wood on it, but he put it in. It was almost an excuse-me goal for his 3rd, Doug, of the tournament.
Absolutely, but look at the puck movement, look at the spacing right there, and then the play by Andrew Ebbett. I mean, you talk about having poise, confidence, the stick handle like that. First of all, the glove the puck down the blue line, and then 2 or 3 quick fakes, 2 feet inside the blue line like that, Steve. That's confidence, and then head up, the pass over to Mark Flood, and then I love the way he came back in as a 3rd guy. We already had Dustin Jeffrey and Mason Raymond to the sides, and then but look at again how he jumped back into the play. That's just a beautiful power play execution for Team Canada.
There's a shot from the point, ends up on the stick of Paré, who scores! Francis Paré in front, bar down, 5-1 Team Canada.
Yeah, and Francis Paré is full value for this goal. I'm thrilled for him. He has really played well. Number 40 for Team Canada. And I love this line with 88, James Shepard and Gregory Campbell, your guests in the second period, but it's the same recipe again. There's Campbell in front of that. There's Paré in front of it. Puck coming up. Look at him battling in front. And look at Campbell coming again. Creates a diversion in front of Kachettel. Look at Paré. Stay with the puck. Martin Plekanec lost a little bit there from Mountfield, but he never lost it. He stayed with it. It's always about having presence. Although you're being checked, in that case it was from Plekanec. He stayed with it. The shot came in. And I love the way Gregory Campbell acted as a secondary screen as well.
So Canada is now up 5-1 with 2 goals here in period number 3. Francis Pare, 29 years of age, from Quebec, 87 birth, played with Shawinigan, also played in Chicoutimi, Grand Rapids in the AHL, and part of the Croatian contingent of Team Canada. For those who weren't with us in the earlier games, what does that Team Croatia, Team Canada mean?
Well, what it is there's 7 players right now from the Zagreb team that is playing in the KHL, and thankfully for Team Canada, having Gordy Dwyer, the head coach of Zagreb, as a member of this staff, it has allowed them to bring that contingent of Zagreb players into this tournament, playing on behalf of Team Canada. The real benefit for Team Canada, these players are in the KHL, so they're used to playing in the world's 2nd best league, a high-level league, so the speed here and the level of the play won't be an intimidating factor for them.
Well, the Croatia connection will please TSN producer Dennis Barham, as it's worked for Canada so far, as Pare makes it 5-1. However, Nick Spaulding is now in the box. Chance in front of the net for Jurasek, couldn't get good wood on that one. Richard Jurasek has been not as active, Doug, as he was in the first 2 games.
No, and he's been quiet, and I'll tell you why. Because he's been physically stronger in his first 2 games, but now he's playing against a big, strong Canadian team, and his qualities aren't as evident as they were in Mountfield's previous 2 games.
Jake Newton with a shot that hit the goal post. Little give and go in front of the net. Doesn't get there. Newton cleans it up and starts it back. Shot by Grigork goes off something in front, off the netting, and we get a stoppage in play.
And you'll see right here the key, the ability of Zach Fucali to see the shot coming in. Number 29, Dragoon, he's been all over the ice this afternoon, one of Mountfield's better players. But again, look at how well Fucali comes across. Although the puck went off the outside of the post, Fucali did a real nice job closing down the lane in front of Dragoon.
Now there's a little conversation in the video room, which is in the penalty box. Are they wondering if this puck went in? Are they reviewing this, Doug?
Well, that looks to be the reason why they've convened here in front of the video judge. You can see the 2 referees taking a look, although unfortunately we're not able to see the pictures. But to your point, Steve, I think you're exactly right. And that's a highlight that we just saw moments earlier. The puck nowhere near going in, but still worth a review. Fucali had slid across Dragoon, got his stick on and deflected it, but flush off the goalpost.
And remember, at the NHL level, everything in and around the net is always reviewed. And the great thing here is we can hear and see exactly what really happens in the Situation Room in Toronto. We get to see but don't hear what happens at the penalty box on the tablet in the NHL. But here, we're literally over the shoulder, Doug, and that really brings everything home to the viewers.
Well, isn't it? It's like virtual reality within the game, right? It gives fans at home an opportunity to see the kind of deliberation that goes on when making determinations on incidents like this to make a decision, is this a goal or not? And it brings the viewers in. I just think it adds a dimension to the game. And hockey over here, I think, has always been a little bit more forward thinking, if you will, whether it's been cameras on the referees' helmets or allowing us to peek over the shoulders of the referees as they look to review calls. I think that's one of the things that they try to sell here, is the interactivity between the fans and the game.
I'm not sure why it's taking so long, considering you can see it go off the post. They've seen it, they've talked about it, and we're all in favor of video review, but the key is quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, and that took a little bit of time, and I mean, to us it seemed pretty obvious. We saw the highlight twice. It was clear the puck went off, flush off the post, but you know, better late than never now. The referees have made the right call.
A minute 12 in the Nick Spaulding penalty. Remember, Nick Spaulding was not in the first game against Minsk, a game Canada lost. 28-year-old Ontario native who's played with San Jose, Toronto, Pittsburgh, and Nashville. He's in the box now, in the lineup in game 2. And that's where we've seen Canada play probably a better structural game, having a veteran like that in the lineup.
And you're absolutely right. He's brought, I mean, look, again, he brings veteran NHL experience.
can hear the band and the music. Sounds Montreal Forum-like in terms of the tone. And there's going to be a tripping call here on the play. David McIntyre was fouled, and going to the box will be Blas Gregorek, another minor against Mountfield.
And look at that, that's a terrible penalty. 2 feet inside the blue line. McIntyre's going by him, he's not dangerous right there. And Gregorek gets his stick right here, just a trip. Negates the power play advantage for Mountfield, but another dumb stick penalty, and we've seen far too many of them during the first 3 days of this tournament.
Now, Doug, you've alluded to the ice before, and that next year they will shovel the snow off. Is there a weather reason? Is there a 2 games a day reason? What would you do? What are your suggestions to make it better? Can you put your finger on it?
Well, I think the first thing that they're doing is taking that measure. Next year, we're going to have, for the first time, TV timeouts during the games, and that's going to make a big difference because it's going to allow them to clean the ice. There's a lot of use of the ice here. There's 2 games. The teams are practicing. In previous years, they practiced on a secondary sheet. They're not. They're using the main building. That really wears out the ice. But the problem that I have here is that they really should take 30 seconds at about the 10-minute mark, get people out here, clean the ice, because it really is like, and I've referenced this before, it's like playing on an outdoor rink after 10 minutes. There's so much snow on the ice.
In 5 seconds, Canada will go to the power play as they're spalling off. 2 new fresh troops in as the puck is pinned in the far corner. And at this point in a 5-1 game, I don't feel there's a sense of urgency to dig it out and get it in, as conserving energy is important now because it's Thursday. There'll be a game Friday, and hopefully for Team Canada, game Saturday. So that's a lot of hockey in a short period of time.
Well, you're right, and you're up on the power play right now. And for Canada, look, they're going to play smart first and foremost. They have a 4-goal cushion right now, so you don't want to take unnecessary chances. You want to play smart, and you got to think about tomorrow, right? The semifinal game tomorrow looks like it's lining up against Minsk, the team that defeated them in their first game. A lot to play for tomorrow, so this is a game where you just want to finish it. You want to finish it healthy, ideally on a strong note, but most importantly is to come out of this game healthy.
Here's a chance in the slot. DiDomenico has DiDomenico behind the net in front to McFlicker, and it just hopped over his stick. Pouliot, right wing circle, back to Brandon Gormley, back to Pouliot, this side for Noro, shot, slap pass for McFlicker as the penalty is winding down to Blas Gregorek. One last chance perhaps. DiDomenico, shot is blocked, and then it's cleared to center ice by Alish Palace. Puck is touched by Corey Emerton. Power play in Mountfield. This game is coming to you live from Davos. Welcome back here to Davos. 90th edition of the Spengler Cup. Jacob McFlicker for tackling, also known as holding Doug, and power play Mountfield.
Yeah, that looked like something you're more likely to see on an NFL football field than a hockey rink.
Under 13 to play here in the third. Centering feed comes back to the point to Blas Gregorek. Gets it into the goal scorer, Jaroslav Bednar for the Czech Republic. He gives it away, but it's tracked down nicely by Rastislav Dej to Bednar. Gregorek shot, that got Sean Morrison up high. He heads to the bench.
And this is what I was talking about moments earlier. You want to come out healthy. Big shot from Gregorek on the blue line, and Morrison took him in the upper body. The last thing you want to see is a Team Canada defenseman going down, blocking a shot, and then potentially taking him out of tomorrow's semifinal.
Words like momentum and confidence are used a lot, and hockey broadcasting. In terms of confidence, as there's a shot steered aside by Fucale, do you believe in it for a goaltender like Zach, considering his pedigree and getting exposure here, people watching back home? Is confidence overrated and overstated, or do you believe in it that much?
I think it's underrated. I think confidence, no matter what your walk in life is arguably the most important X factor, right? If you're Zach Fucale, just imagine this. You get sent down to the East Coast Hockey League, you're having your season. All of a sudden, the opportunity comes up. You're coming to the Spengler Cup, or you're coming as a backup goaltender. The opportunity presents itself for you to step into game 2. You take it. You play great against the home team, Davos. The rink is full. You're arguably the first star of the game. And now in game 3, you've given up 1 goal. You're on the verge of leading Canada into the semifinal. Just imagine what a different feeling he has now than he would have had 72 hours ago.
And that's a good point, because when the season started, most in the hockey world would not have expected to see him where he is. But now, you put yourself back on the radar, top of mind, and the key for him, he's just 21. He's won before, and as you mentioned, most importantly, he's playing very well.
Well, and he's in an environment that he's comfortable with, and that's representing Canada. I mean, we've talked about the Holinka champion, the World Under-20 champion. He's playing great here in the Spengler Cup, and I just think there's a tendency too often to judge guys, especially goaltenders, at such an early age, whether they're going to be hits or flops, right? And he's a 21-year-old. If he was playing NCAA hockey, he'd be a junior or senior. We're talking about judging his career now to make a decision on whether or not he has an NHL future. I think that's ludicrous. And I think coming over here now, within a span of 72 hours, he's back to being the goaltender that everybody thought he already was.
Here's Nick Spaulding with a shot. Emerton on the doorstep. Nick Spaulding had a 2-on-1 opportunity. Let that one rip. And Andre Kachetl made the pad save. We're approaching the 10-minute mark. I'm Steve Koulias up top. Doug Honegger between the benches. Associate producer Phil Williams, Michael A. Charbonne running things in the truck here from Davos. We're happy to be bringing you the pictures and sounds of the 90th Spengler Cup. Quarterfinal Thursday continues with Davos tonight against Yekaterinburg. And then we've got semifinal Friday. Lugano and Minsk are watching and scouting this game in this building known as the Vaillant Arena, with the cedar roof, the atmosphere, and the flowing bottles of beer in each and every corner.
And a lot of beer being served in this building. It's amazing. You get in here 2-3 hours before the game, and in the Davos den, the people are already starting to drink, and they're pretty sauced up by the time the game starts.
Marc-Antoine Pouliot brings it in, attacks the triangle there on Rastislav Dietz, and it goes over the glass and out of play. This game is coming to you live from Switzerland.
Still.
9 minutes to go here in regulation time. TSN's continuing coverage of Spengler Cup hockey. Last year, Canada won its 13th Spengler Cup title, second only to Davos. The host country has won 15 times. As David McIntyre brings it in, Luke Richardson, Sean Burke and company running Team Canada 2016. As Christmas time, hockey tournaments continue in North America and here in Europe as well. Hope you're having a safe and happy Christmas and New Year's season wherever you are across the Great White North. Controlling the puck is Travis Earhart in his own zone. I guess what we'll see now is a lot of get it in, get it out, and get off hockey here as far as Luke Richardson's team is concerned.
Absolutely. Just keep the guys in 20-25 second shifts on, keep the puck deep. As I mentioned early on, don't get into situations where you might get hurt, although that can be difficult in a game, but the ice is bad. it's a constant theme again. They're just going to get the puck. They're going to chip it. It's going to be chip in and chip out for the rest of this game. And I can tell you right now, there's not a whole lot of enthusiasm either on the Mountfield bench.
Tonight it is Davos against Yekaterinburg. Do you have an early preview for us what we can expect this evening, Doug?
Yeah, the buzz already this morning just talking to people is Davos really want to get into the semifinal, right? They played so well yesterday against Minsk and defeating Minsk. Really excited about their game tonight against Yekaterinburg. And I'm hearing some dissension within the ranks of Yekaterinburg as well, which I think we're going to get into a little bit more this evening.
Delayed penalty coming up here against Mountfield. Looks like there'll be a holding call as the Spengler Cup mascot is up here in the broadcast booth. Hello again, my friend. Good to see you. As there's a look at the penalty, Doug.
Yeah, and look, this is holding. It's a lazy penalty right here. The game is pretty much out of reach, and there was number 25, Andre Dzerens. We've called his name a lot tonight, despite being down 5-1, has been one of Mountfield's better players throughout this tournament.
2 years in the OHL with Kingston, 20 goals, 21 goals in back-to-back campaigns. Chips in offensively for Coach Sikora on this club, but he's in the box now. He has 14 points this season. As we approach the 13-minute mark of the period, Canada's back on the power play here as it comes to the near side to Jacob McFlicker, being watched by Rastislav Dej. Speaking of goals, he had 15 last season. McFlicker gets it into Pouliot from the hash mark, spinning away from Dej. Has it in the near corner, back of the net to McFlicker. He lost it, and then Dej gets it out down.
Yeah, and those plays in tight, the give and go pass in the slot area, really difficult. There's an inch and a half of snow in front of the goal.
Under 7 to go here in Canada's quarterfinal matchup. The winner of this game, which with each passing second, looks like it'll be Team Canada. They'll take on Minsk 7-4. Ben Scrivens and company beat Canada in the round robin game. What has changed from that 7-4 game to what you see right now?
Well, look, the improvement of Team Canada has been exceptional. It's not surprising to us because we've seen that from this team in this tournament so often, right? The first game, remember, they only had a practice and a morning skate to get ready for a team like Dynamo Minsk, among the better teams in the league, in the world's second best league, pardon me, the KHL. Backstopped by an excellent goaltender, Ben Scrivens, who played very well against them. This is going to be a very, very different Team Canada that they see tomorrow night.
And of course, Drew McIntyre did play in that game, and we just have to assume that it's Zach Fucali's crease here now the rest of the way.
Well, look, you're going to ride the hot hand, right? And Zach Fucali has played very well for Canada, defeating Davos in game 2, and then this afternoon he's been real strong. Hasn't seen a lot of pucks, but the ones that he has, he's made the saves. And what I think is the most encouraging for Team Canada is how confident he looks in his movements. A real economy of movement. That is, to me, is a sign of a really confident goaltender.
What do you think about Rob Klinkhammer, Matt Ellison and company? Two Canadians facing Team Canada. They have been very good in the tournament so far for Minsk.
Yeah, and they added Aaron Palaszczuk as well, who's obviously gave them a nice dimension yesterday. A good fast skating North American player, highly skilled former Montreal Canadian. I think he brings another dimension to them. It wasn't there against Canada, so they're going to have to think about that. Fredrik Pettersson, a Swedish national team player who was just signed on the eve of this tournament, is expected to play as well tomorrow. So this is a very good Minsk team as well. They're not going to be underestimating Team Canada. Craig Woodcroft is going to make sure that his team recognizes that this is a much improved Canada that they're going to be facing. I think we're in for a heck of a hockey game.
Evgeny Kovarishin has played well, Doug. Alex Matarukin has also played well. Andrei Stepanov has had scoring opportunities, so it's going to be an entertaining game. Here we are, again, waiting for 3-on-3 hockey. We're not going to get it here this afternoon, but in the round robin last year, with the open ice and everything else, who knows? We might get playoff overtime, and that would be a treat to watch.
Yeah, wouldn't it be on a 200 by 100 foot sheet? I mean, you get the sense just talking to people here that everybody's anticipating that first 3-on-3 game, and to see the skill level that these guys have to play on this big rink would be a real treat for everybody.
Just listen to this crowd. It doesn't matter if it's tied, if it's close, or if it's a 5-1 game. They're doing the wave circa Tiger Stadium 1984, which, by the way, was the first year Canada was in this club team tournament, as we got a breakaway here for Bednar. Bednar stopped there by Fucali on a clear-cut breakaway. Zach Fucali standing tall.
Yeah, you know what? Bednar tried to go to his backhand. Fucali slid across, was with him the whole time. But when the ice is bad like this, I'm a big advocate of shooting the puck rather than trying a deke, because you just there's no consistency with the ice, and you're going to see the puck bounce or slid off of the blade of Bednar. And a nice job, again, repeating myself, but a nice job of Zach Fucali staying in. Watch him right here. Bednar wants to go to the right-hand side. Look at the puck slides off, but Fucali there in plenty of time. Big goaltender. Watch it. The puck's in a slide right there. He tried to back slap it, if you will, almost. No chance at all. Fucali was in place well in advance and made the save in the Canadian goal.
I'm not a fan of finishing backhand shelf. Oh, of course, I never had hands like Mary Lemieux or Alexei Kovalev, but it's such a hard play to bring it from forehand to backhand and then get it up. And the pads are so big, the equipment is so thick, the goalies move so well. And as we saw right there, Yaroslav Bednar tried, but could not beat Zach Fucali, the 21-year-old, who's played very well for Canada. There's a chance in front of the net. Richard Jurasek, the former Saginaw Spirit, played in the OHL with TJ Brody of the Calgary Flames back almost a decade ago. Just listen to this crowd. They're enjoying themselves here as we approach New Year's Day in Davos. That shot right on and held by Zach Fucali.
And Fucali able to see that shot in from Travis Earhart. The key for Fucali is the fact that the front of the net is being cleared for him. The pucks are coming in from the blue line, but he has all the time in the world to see the puck and making the save in the Canadian goal.
4:06 on the game clock. Team Canada poised to play Minsk. And Rob Klinkhammer, Matt Ellison and company, Aaron Palushai, the former Montreal Canadian, Ben Scribbins. We talked about friends and family. Saw his wife earlier. Met her at Cornell University, and there's a NCAA connection. A number of the players in this tournament playing NCAA hockey. We're under 4 to play now, as Travis Earhart has it in his own zone. Throws it behind the net, but McFlicker gets to the puck, and it scoots out to center ice. Here's a chance at the side of the net for McFlicker. Tried to get a stick on that one. Instead, he was hammered into the net. DiDomenico was hammered into the ice. Canada's hammering Mountfield. It's hammer time here in Davos.
And Canada's going to go back on the power play here with just over 3 minutes to go here in the third period. You see DiDomenico looking, textbook Canadian play again. Watch this. McFlicker driving to the outside post. See number 28 in black right there. That was Alice Pavlis, but a beautiful job. Even with the game easily under control, 5-1, not letting up Team Canada. Love McFlicker's drive right there. You go straight to the post. DiDomenico slid it across. Had he not been impeded by Plavs right there, may have scored Canada's 6th.
.3:15 to go here in the third period. Short-handed rush opportunity for Rudy Cervini, the former Regina Pat, but typical for Mountfield today, that play was offside.
Yeah, and Rudy Cervini, a player on this hockey club. We've called his name a lot during the first 2 games, but has been quiet, the former Regina Pat, this afternoon.
Face-off controlled by Mountfield. 6th in the Czech Republic standings this year. They've come here to Davos, and all things considered, played pretty well. I think they lived up to their talents. I know they'll be disappointed with the end result here, Doug, but you know what? Overall, a very good showing for Vaclav Sikora's team, all things considered.
Look, they're an entertaining team. They ran into a really good Canadian team this afternoon, but I think they've been good for this tournament. They displayed and showed themselves very well. Vaclav Sikora wants to change the image of Czech hockey, wants to make it more offensive, more exciting, more entertaining, and I think Mountfield has done that during this tournament.
How is Czech hockey doing internationally?
Well, I think the big issue right now, they're not developing players obviously at anywhere near the rate they did in the 80s and the 90s for a number of different reasons, most of them economic. When the state system controlled hockey, there was no shortage of young players getting into the game, but now the fact that the game has been privatized the way it has in the West, it's really affected enrollment.
Listen to this crowd enjoying every minute of it as we get the 2-minute warning here at the 90th Spengler Cup. Pumped in there by Blake Parlett. Near side for Paré. He's got a goal in the game. Shepard in front. Campbell is there. And then Campbell is spilled in front of the net on a great deflection. The only goal of the game for the Czech Republic, Jaroslav Bednar, the former NHLer, who's had a very good tournament, Doug.
He has. I mean, even at close to 40 years of age, is still the heartbeat of this hockey club. Runs their power play. He's still very skilled, shoots the puck very well, as we saw in his goal. And it's remarkable to see players approaching 40 or at 40 that can still play at such a high level.
1:24 on the game clock. The clapping, the cheering, and I guess the penalties keep on coming. Canada will end the game here with a too many men on the ice penalty. Mason Raymond volunteers to go kill the penalty gun.
Very good of him. He's had a real good game for Canada with a pair. Skating well, and this game just suits him so well, right? Great skater. He made his mark in the National Hockey League through his skating ability. And can you think of a situation, a 200 by 100 foot rink is going to suit any player on Canada better than number 21 Mason Raymond? I don't think so.
So a late power play opportunity in 3 seconds. Zach Fucali played very well since he spelled Drew McIntyre. Here's Flood behind the net to Heshka. He sends it down the ice. Just over 1 minute to go here as Team Canada is poised to play Minsk tomorrow in one of the 2 semifinal matchups. So we've eliminated Mountfield. Tonight, Davos against Yekaterinburg. Winner plays Lugano, loser goes home. As we're getting into the nitty-gritty, Doug, here at the 90th edition of the Spengler Cup.
And listen to the fans. They've been treated to a real good Team Canada performance. As I've mentioned several times, Canada is really the default second favorite team here, and the fans are really happy with what they've seen from the team in white.
Canada lost their opener, then beat Davos. And that was really the game they started to come together as the puck is shot to center, perhaps a late 2-on-1. Campbell going hard to the net, Paré to Campbell, and it goes right between his legs as Gregory Campbell had a chance to make it 6-1. 10 seconds left, and we'll let the crowd here at the Vaillant Arena take us home. There is the horn. The game is over. Canada wins 5-1, Doug. They'll take on Minsk. Your final thoughts on this very impressive effort?
Yeah, I think it could have been as good. It doesn't get better than what it did today for Team Canada. We talked in the opening about wanting to improve upon their play from their victory against Davos, and they did absolutely that today. They were exceptional, all facets of the game, defensively, offensively, and having a goaltender that can play that well for you, that's what you want from Luke Richardson. You want to be able to depend on a number 1 goaltender, and I think they found that now in Zachary Fucali, and nothing can carry a team more than a hot goaltender, and Canada has that now.
Canada dominates on the scoreboard. They dominate in shot attempts. They dominate in shots on goal. They dominate in the face-off circle, and they took less penalties than Mountfield, but now the big test in the semifinal when they take on Minsk. On behalf of everyone here, our Davos crew, thanks for watching the Spengler Cup. Thanks, guys. See you at the restaurant.
Studio.